Okay, good. I am doing a different way of getting to a sketch.
Uh-huh.
Of our things, from the poem, from the E.E. Cummings poem, they talked about the boys left their marbles and the girls left their hopscotch and jump rope. And so I decided to do this marble, and I decided to do it because if you look at the bottom of the marble, you can see that the trees are reflected upside down
Oh,
in the
yes.
bottom half of the marble, and the sun is shining out of the bottom half of the marble, as well as having a reflection here. So
Yes.
I thought that would be a fun thing to do.
Wow.
And these things, when you do them, they look so impressive, but they're really not as hard as they look. You just, the big deal is seeing it. Move that way. Yes, there we go. The big deal is seeing it. And once you've seen it, I mean, once you see that it's there, then it's not that hard to paint. And the other thing that I was going to talk about is I didn't do it. There's not much to do with a sketch from. And I thought it would be a good time to demonstrate, what was it that it's called? Focus point. So here's my horizon line. So I
Mm-hmm.
draw a little mark on each side of my horizon line. And here's the bottom of my marble. And so I've corrected my horizon line so the thing is not straight on the paper. And the top of my marble, and I'm trying to stay even with the paper since the horizon is corrected. And each side. And then if it were a little small, well, I'll do the middle too. I actually have a big one in the middle. And so then if we're a little bit smaller, I could just put a quarter there and have my sketch. So then I complete those lines so that I have this square. Here's the center. So I only have to draw, a quarter circle, which is not that hard, except that my thing is not quite even. Meaning I didn't quite do it right. But you see, and here's my tape for my horizon line. So this circle is on the tape, so I'm not going to be able to have the whole thing in. So there's my pretty good circle. And now I can erase my guidelines. If I can get my little bit of eraser out, I'm down to a very small piece of eraser. And I've got my marble. I've got my horizon line. And you can do this. And what it reminded me of was when we were doing Linda's Greek house, that would have been a really good one to do this technique, because you can just, this line of the roof and that line of the roof, and do them at the edge so that you get your straight lines and your perspective is all taken care of when you do it that way. So that's another technique if you don't have goop, or you don't have tape, or you don't have anything to do stuff with. And now I'm going to do saran wrap for my background, because it's got this nice fuzzy green background. And my background colors are sort of black and green and a little yellow. And this is my top. So I'm going to go around. I'm going to be careful. I'm going to be careful as I screw it up and put water not where my tape is or too close to my marble edge, so that I can just fake that part. Wet this down. And Marilyn's favorite green. Marilyn's not here. Her mom died.
Oh, no, that's too bad.
Yeah. So
God
we're
rest her.
probably not going to see her for a while. She was, I think she was in her 90s. I'm
God
not
bless
sure
her.
exactly. And she's been failing for a good while.
Mm.
She's also a breast cancer survivor.
Yes, Marilyn is a cancer survivor. And she's had more than her share of troubles in her life. Her daughter died at 40.
Oh, dear.
What?
That's quite a while ago, but still,
I don't think you ever get over something like that.
I don't think you do either. So while I think it would be good for her to come to Paint Zoom and paint, she doesn't have to. People's lives, they should do what they need to do in their lives.
Sure.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's scribbly enough. So here we go.
She wanted to have a saran wrap ballet, but I drew the line. An attendant.
I'm like the 2,000-year-old man. Does anybody remember that, the 2,000-year-old man?
Sure.
And
Yes.
they ask him, what's the best thing that you've seen in all of your long life? And he goes, saran wrap. Or as Sally and Louise say, cling film. There.
At least cling film tells you what the job, what it actually does. I mean,
Yes, it does. So that can sit and dry. And okay, I'm going to take this off. We'll see. That's not too bad. Not too
That's
bad.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks cool, but it's damp. It's definitely damp. But it's going to be what it's going to be. So now we get to the marble. And here's my horizon coming off. I got this tape. And it says that it comes off very easily. It does. You can't tape anything except using it as masking tape. Because it doesn't hold on to anything. You know, you tape like you tape paper down with it, it comes right up. But it works well as masking tape because it doesn't destroy the paper.
Ended up using masking tape to hold the sequins while I was sewing.
Sewing?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good use of them. So I'm not going to worry about this, although it's textured. So maybe later I'll put some sort of beigey white and then put some salt on it. But I'm not going to worry about it now. I'm going to work on my marble. And it's a bit scary since
You are equal to the task.
we'll see. I should have made it really big. Well, it would be easier. You know,
Sure.
if the marble was like this big, I didn't. Not only that, I think it's phthalo blue, which is a staining color.
Ah,
And I'm not good at that. I may nilly-willy make it into, oh, I know what I'll do. I've done this before. I make phthalo blue out of two non-staining colors. I use my regular ultramarine.
mhm,
Can you see the paint box?
yeah.
Okay. Okay, I use my regular ultramarine that I always use because it lifts so well. And I always need things that lift because I make so many mistakes. And then I add just a hair of lemon yellow. You see, it gets a little green, but they're so, well, no, now I need more blue. It's still too green. That was too much yellow, and you saw how little there was. Because you want it still to be a blue, but you want it to be this is a greener blue. And down here is a black, and here we have our whites. I should put some goop on that. Chris, would you hand me the goop from over there? I neglected to possess myself of goop.
Oh.
No, a bottle. Yeah, that'll do. And a jar top. Good, thank you. So when you shake this goop, it gets all bubbly. But if you pour it out into a jar top, it gets unbubbly. So we've got a white here right along the edge and a very white right here. And then the whitest white is opposite that because that's the sun, I think. And then I've got a white down here, which is the marble acting like a lens. So there are my whites. Now I've got a whole lot of goop out and used it. I didn't need that much. So this will also be good for shadows, Linda, because this is shadow. This is not dry, obviously. So let's try and sneak up on it. A little brush, but not a tiny brush. Okay, here's my fake phthalo blue. The line in the marble is lower than the horizon line of the counter. I have to take note of that. Oh, this blue is okay, but it's a little bit too close to the color of the goop. Yeah, let's add a little more yellow. There we go.
What size brush are you using?
One that the number is, I think it's a 2. Yeah, I think it's a 2. Here's my one color, which is pretty. I'm going to add some water so that it does the blending thing. Now, that's the easy part. I've got this is a bright white here, but this has got sort of just a thinnerness of the color. So I dry off my brush. I've got a rag and I dry off the brush and pull that off. And
Good.
now
Oh,
comes
good.
the hard
That's
part. Down here, we've got an overall,
And
blue. That is not a phthalo blue. That's a real ultramarine blue. So let's do that. People remember the first bottles that we did? We did that little vase thing, which is such a nice ultramarine blue.
What watercolors do you use, Elin?
I mostly use Winsor Newton Cotman. Cotman is Winsor Newton student grade because you guys are students and I am a student.
Mhm.
And because they're cheaper. And I find them to be a good, you know, not the cheapest things you can get. I mean, the cheapest thing you can get are probably the little things that kids use, but you know, reasonable. So I've got my basic blue. Now I'm going to stick some green. These are my tree
Use-
things. Ooh, that's too wet. And I'm not doing exactly what is there. You know, I'm doing an impression. And it's a little too bright. So add some more. And then I'll darken it down with some black. On the balloons that I did last week, I did another take of those. And I used Louise's sponge technique that she does so well with the scrubby part of the sponge, which makes a different texture. I don't know what it is. Sometimes paper just does not want to take paint.
Humidity?
Yeah, I think it has something to do with having made the paper too wet, or that the wetness hasn't soaked in. It's sort of just on the surface,
Right.
or maybe the opposite. I don't know. So now there's a reflecting up of this beige onto the marble along that edge. So what am I going to use there? Do I want to use a white? No. I want to make a beigey thing. Here, I've got something here. This is good, whatever this is. This is some sort of pink and something. Have that reflect up. And I've got some more blue, a deeper blue. And again, I'm not worrying so much about the actual shape of the thing because the idea is to give the impression. And this, because these are not showing up, because the paper was really wet, I'll go back to my green. And I still had some blue on my brush, which is okay, because blue is one of the pieces of green. And often it's good to have some blue. When you're doing greens, like trees and stuff, it's good to have some blue in it because nothing is just, you know, the color out of the crayon box in the real world. Everything is a mixture of colors, which is why I have you do gray lesson first off. And now my paper is taking paint, so I can get that black along the. No, I can't. Not wet enough. The paint is not black enough. The rule of thumb is The paint will go it'll go from wet to dry. I mean, it'll go from wet, yeah, from wet to dry. It'll go to the driest spot. So if your brush is too dry, it'll pick up paint instead of putting it down. So you want your paper to be the wetter thing, unless you mean to pick up, which I do all the time with a dry brush. So now we've got our upside down reflection. Pretty much we have our upside down reflection. Let's straighten this out, and I'm gonna lighten around here. And then when I take off the goop, it'll be really white.
Sure.
And I'm gonna take off here. And I'm gonna put down some more here, because this is darker. Okay, there's some lightness right in here that goes across the horizon line, so to speak. Okay. It's whiter than I want. It's a little better. And some of this stuff is blacker than I have it. It's time. Somebody's timer.
John, are you sharing?
I could tell. No, I haven't figured that out yet.
Good.
Are you gonna do something for us, John?
Hmm?
You gonna do something for us? Just even a little tiny thing?
Yeah, I'll try and email it somehow. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Email?
Yeah.
He's going to email us a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm not too far from you.
No, next time.
In fact, Lynn isn't either. Let's see who else is here. Virginia wouldn't mind flying in.
Next time.
Anybody else want to come?
Next time we go to Java, we'll make John will bring us a thermos of wine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Get arrested for something, I think.
Yeah, I think.
Or just bring it in a paper bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always do it anyway.
Everybody knows what that is.
If you put it in a coffee mug, nobody will know any better.
That's
How
right.
about that? Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I'm going to start on my shadow. And my shadow is interesting because it's not black.
Mm.
It's green here, and then it fades to gray, and of course it's white in the center. So that's interesting. This isn't quite right. Well, so what kind of green is it? It's a very yellow green. Oh, I'll use my yellow green that I made. This is mostly yellow with a little bit of green in it. And it goes sideways. That's not that dark. And then it fades to a blue, and I'll use our phthalo blue. This is where it's going to be hard.
So that white spot, you just leave white or
No,
okay.
I've put goop on it, latex on it.
Oh, you put goop on it. Oh.
Yeah, I put goop on it. So
Masking fluid or
masking fluid, right?
Okay.
You have to
Now,
excuse my lack of the English language.
Now I'm actually speaking of the white spot in the shadow, Elin. You put goop on that?
Yes, I have goop here. I have goop here. I have goop along here. So
Oh.
it's here, here, and here.
Okay.
And then this part I will just do a takeoff.
Okay.
And this part I just pulled off,
Okay.
you know, with a damp brush and then a dry brush or a tissue, like so. And now what do I want to go to? I want to go to a bluer blue. And out here, it's very faint. And I'm going to a bluer blue. I'm going to a blue rather than a gray because grays always make things look dirty. Even on the swan, where I've got shadow, it's actually like an indigo. In other words, that it's a very, very, it's a navy blue.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks gray because it's a shadow, so you know it's gray.
Okay.
And right here, it's quite dark. So there I will put a hair of black. That was green. I just stuck my yeah, I just stuck my brush in the green.
Been kind of quiet on your end tonight. Is the chef in the kitchen?
No, the chef is here.
Oh, okay.
Can't smell anything.
No,
Uh,
I don't know what he's doing.
oh, what's cooking tonight, sir chef?
Chris, they're
Yes.
asking what you're cooking tonight. Salmon, I think, huh?
Mm.
Salmon with basil and pesto, basically, and broccoli roasted with
Garlic.
garlic and lemon and cheese and rice.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
All right. That sounds a little bit like part of my dinner for Sunday.
Oh, what did you have?
Oh, Easter we're gonna have salmon,
Uh-huh.
and I might try that. You said basil and pesto.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're gonna have some garlic shrimp
Uh-huh.
and
Oh, yum.
spinach.
What about dessert?
Well, Whole Foods sells this delicious strawberry cake.
Oh. Hmm.
So, and it comes in a large and I guess it's a small or medium. So we're gonna
So
get.
where is it you live?
I'm in,
Idaho.
I'm in your nation's capital.
In the nation's capital. Oh, okay.
The nation's capital.
You live in
Yeah.
Idaho.
This is one of the things that got to me early on in the pandemic, that one of my standing jokes, and this is well, that sounds delicious, we'll be right over, and realizing you couldn't, not that any of you actually did that, but you couldn't do that now. It's very
I
sad.
know. I know. Yes.
But it does sound delicious, even though we can't be right over.
Yours as well.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. And I almost bought some broccoli today.
Oh, you almost did. What happened?
Because we're gonna do the spinach, and I
Ah.
already have some greens in the refrigerator, so I'll have greens today,
Mhm.
and we'll have the spinach on Sunday.
We approve.
Thank you.
I wonder if I can take any of this off. This is all really wet. Ah. Okay, I'm going to bring my green down to the edge of my marble. I'm going to ask us to share what we've done. I'm not going to take the goop off until after that
Okay.
because it's still wet.
And when we ask for shares, we're not going to take no for an answer.
Uh-oh.
Exactly.
Uh-oh. Now, Elin,
Yeah.
I'm noticing that your shadow is broad, is more circular
Then
and
it is on the
fuller.
thing. Yeah.
Is it are you conceiving that it's at a different angle?
No, it's a mistake.
Oh, you're
It's
so
my
on it.
painting with my brain instead of my eye, which
You're
is a problem that we all have. I mean, everyone
Okay.
has.
painting with
I know it's supposed to go some way, and I think this, and then I draw what I think instead of what I see because I don't look back
Uh-huh.
to see.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So I'm trying to coax it over here.
Okay. You do have a magic touch, so it will.
Well, no, I don't have a magic touch. I just have perseverance.
Oh, okay.
Perseverance, and like I said earlier, because I screwed things up on a thing that's going into a show,
Oh no.
and it's due tomorrow. And this morning I screwed it. I almost stuck that in my wand. There, I'm elongating my shadow in an
Okay.
attempt to make it better.
So the piece that's for the show, are you going to You gonna
Oh.
pull it back out and do
No,
it?
no, 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 no. Oh no, this piece, we have had drama. You weren't here when I shared it with people. It has just had drama. I put it in as a photograph, and the actual painting was at my granddaughter's shop, and it
Mm.
got flooded
Oh no.
and totally destroyed.
Oh.
And you know, you enter a couple of pieces, and one is accepted. Which one is accepted? The one that got flooded. You know, the other ones
Oh
did
my.
not.
That reminds me, do you know what of your other pieces have been accepted? Or Louise, do you know what your piece was? that was accepted?
No,
No.
I've got one photograph and one painting.
Do they
Ah.
not tell, what does it take for them to tell you?
You've got to wait till the opening night, I guess, April
Oh, that's ridiculous.
9th. It's just the way it's automatically done that, you know, the system will ping out, you know,
Hmm.
you've been selected, but.
No, we don't. It's a virtual show.
Oh,
So,
wow.
but if we, okay, so my shadow is now better, Diane, I think.
I think.
Okay. It's as good as it's gonna get. And I'm
There
messing,
you have it. Okay.
I'm messing with this. Okay. Where's a little piece of saran wrap?
Little bitty.
Well, I don't have a little piece, but I don't need much. It can just,
Oh.
it can just sit there.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I will pull off this. So that's my background. Is this, can I take this off? Let's see.
Nice.
Yeah, there's my white.
Very nice.
Oh,
Elin,
yeah.
could I do the same technique with that marble thing too that I showed you?
Yeah.
I'll try that.
Okay. So now I've got my whites, and those I'll fudge them. You know what I mean? I will make them. They're too crisp. So I'll mess with the edges so that they're not so stark. Because that's the problem I find with scooping things, that
Sure.
that it's too abrupt.
Hmm.
Okay. So you know how to do this stuff. All right. Good.
Excellent.
It's a wrap.
Okay.
Happy, for those of you
Thank
who
you.
celebrate, happy Easter, everyone.
Yes.
Yes,
the
the
very
very
Happy Passover.
Happy Easter.
That's what you celebrate. Happy Friday tomorrow,
Yes.
and happy weekend.
Thank
Oh,
you very much.
yes, thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Take
Happy
care.
Easter.
Bye-bye.
Take care.